right, so let's jump into one of the first modules that we need to cover and really explain before we can really get into the Swift language at all. And that is really talking about the concept of syntax and what that really means. So in this presentation, we're going to cover that. Basically, there's syntax and semantics for computer languages. It's true for our own language as well, the language we speak, English, Spanish, French, whatever. And it's really important that we have a good grounding and fundamental understanding of what we mean by syntax when we refer to it. So let's get started. Okay, so let's take a look at syntax. Essentially, there's a definition around syntax, which I want to just break up into a couple pieces. First of all, it refers to a concept in writing code that is dealing with really very specific words, and they must occur in a very specific order. And if they don't occur in this order, or those words don't exist, then the syntax is basically incorrect and is not going to be understood by the computer. And really, this is very much like English or Spanish. So it's a grammar. Essentially, it's saying that if you form a sentence a certain way with a certain set of words in a certain order, then you've created your grammar properly. It's grammatically correct. And it also will have some semantics. Now, we're not covering semantics in this module, but that's something that's important down the road. So let's consider the following English sentence. So in this sentence, we're saying the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. And we can read that and we understand, if we understand English, what this sentence really means. And first of all, in grammar, we learn that, for example, fox is the noun in the sentence. And we also learn that jumped would be the verb. That's the action that's taking place. And by the way, it's a brown fox. And so that's an adjective. That's something that's modifying the noun in some form or fashion. So the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog is the sentence we're considering, and our grammar already dictates that there's an adjective, a noun, and a verb, and we can pick that out in the sentence. So let's look at an example of order matters. So here's a new sentence. Basically, it's the exact same words we had before, but I've switched the order. So now it says, fox, the quick jumped dog over the lazy brown. Exact same words, but the order was mixed up. And so from this, we understand that really the same English words, but with a different order, mean something different, or in this case is grammatically incorrect. So because it's grammatically incorrect, it's not considered good English or considered correct English. And in the same way, when we get into Swift and the language, if you were to mix up an order, it's not going to mean the same thing, and it may be completely invalid. So in this case, order does matter, and we cannot figure out really what this sentence says at all. Now, specific words matter as well. So for example, this sentence above is basically the same sentence, only written in Spanish. So all of these words are essentially Spanish words, not English words. So this turns out to be syntactically correct for Spanish, but it is not English. So none of the words are legal in English. So none of these are actually English words. So the words, because they're not legal in English, would mean that this is not proper English grammar. For example, Zorro is fox and Marion is brown, but we note that brown is placed also after Zorro or fox, when in English it comes before. So not only are the words different for Spanish, they're also ordered differently. So the adjective actually came after the noun in Spanish, but in English the adjective would be before the noun. So all of this is referring to syntax. So all of this applies to Swift as well, as I've sort of implied at this point. So if we look at this, we say in English, I might say, computer system, print the line, hello world. And that would be perfectly valid in English. But we don't write it that way in Swift. So Swift is going to be a little more brief and a little more technical in how we do it. But ultimately, Swift has a different set of words than the English language. A lot of them are common and overlap, but they all but the Swift language has specific ones that mean specific things. And so in this case, for Swift, we would say print hello world. Well, when we say print hello world, we're basically saying that we want to print that literal string to the console, and writing it exactly this way is the correct way to do it in Swift. So let's go down and look at this example. Is this correct in Swift? Print hello world. So you might say, well, looks pretty close, right? I mean, print hello world, I'm not sure what I see that's really different from this. But there is a difference. And the difference is that we did not include these quotes around hello world. So we notice up here as an example, this just has hello world, but it does not have quotes around it. And that would be syntactically incorrect. When you get into the variables module, you'll find out that really what it's trying to do here is think that this is a variable, but it's not a variable. It's not legal syntax because it has a space in there. Again, you'll get to that when you do the variables module. But the point here is that this is not correct. And to make it correct, we would need to add these quotes around this string. And now this is correct. This is good. So let's take another one. So print hello world, and we've now got this new statement. Is this correct? So again, I would pause here, let the students sort of make a comment and figure it out. Sometimes these changes are subtle, so you have to look at them a little bit to just see what actually changed and why is this wrong. So if we look at this more closely, it really is now just a question of order matters. So what we did is we essentially started out with this parenthesis, open paren, too early, right? It really needs to come after the print because this is our print statement. And then what comes in between the two parentheses is what's actually going to be printed. And because it's in quotes, it means that it's that literal that will be printed. So again, order matters. All we did, the words are exactly the same, but the order of these parentheses was changed. And therefore, this is wrong and this is good. One more example. Here we have write hello world. So this is interesting because we have our parentheses in the right place. We have our quotes in the right place. So this is a literal string. But what's different here is that write is not print. And remember, words matter. So in this case, write is not print and print is what we want. So again, this is syntactically incorrect. This is syntactically correct. So, in summary, syntax is a couple things. One, words do matter. So the keywords that you have actually apply. And print is not write, as an example. And the second one, that order matters. So for example, putting the parentheses in the wrong place is going to create a syntax error and is going to be syntactically incorrect. So that's syntax.